Very good morning, children. Today we are going to start reading the first chapter of our Unit 2, that is The Last Leaf, written by O. Henry. Before talking about the characters of the story and the storyline, let us read something about O. Henry and let's know who he was. You can check out the last page of your book where some information regarding O. Henry has been given. Just check this out. William Sidney Potter. William Sidney Potter, born in 1862, died in 1910, better known by his pen name O. Henry. Actually, the real name of O. Henry was William Sidney Potter, but when he started reading, he gave himself a pen name which was O. Henry. He was an American writer, and his short stories, known for their wit, wordplay, and warm characterization and unexpected endings, were adored by his readers but often panned by critics. It means that he has written many short stories that are very sentimental, emotional, and they are full of wit and wordplay, and they are very famous. Most of O. Henry's stories are set in his own time, the early 20th century. Many take place in New York City and usually deal with ordinary people such as clerks, policemen, and waitress. It means the characters of his stories were usually the common people we find in our society or in our surroundings. Now let's talk about the characters of the story, The Last Leaf. The story has three main characters. You can see it. Johnsy is a young girl. Two young girls are there, Johnsy and Sue. They are young girls and they are painters, they are artists. They run a studio, a common studio. But Johnsy is also the patient of pneumonia. She is suffering from pneumonia and she has lost every hope to be alive. Sue is the friend of Johnsy. She is also a young girl and she's also an artist. Bear Man is an old man, 60 years old man. He is an artist also, and he is the one who is the neighbor of Johnsy and Sue. So the story begins in the Greenwich Village, where this new pandemic, pneumonia, had started inflicting upon people and making them suffer. Just like nowadays, we can relate it with the present day condition, just like coronavirus has started affecting the lives of all the people around the world. Just in the same way, in Greenwich Village, this deadly disease, pneumonia, has entered and it has started affecting the lives of the people living in this village. So let's start reading. I'm reading the first paragraph and I will make you understand the whatever is described in the paragraph, but first of all I'll read it in a go. In Greenwich Village, at the top of a 3-story brick house, Sue and Johnsy had their studio. They had met at an English street Delmonico and found their taste in art so congenial that the joint studio resulted. It means that in the Greenwich Village, Johnsy and Sue, both the young artists, both the young girls, used to live in a 3-story, means 3-floor brick house, and they used to run a studio where they used to paint the paintings, make the portraits and the paintings, right? They had met at 8th Street Delmonico's. This is the address of a place where they had met, and then they found their taste in art so congenial. They had one common thing. They both were artists and they both wanted to run a studio, so they moved together and they started a joint studio. उन्होंने एक common studio open किया जिसमें वो दोनों portraits बनाती थी और paintings बनाती थी, and this is how they run a joint studio in Greenwich Village. That was in May. It was May month. In November, a cold, unseen stranger whom the doctors called pneumonia, stalked about the colony, touching one here and there with his icy fingers, smiting his victims by scores. So here the author had called pneumonia an unseen stranger. वो pneumonia को एक ऐसे stranger, dangerous stranger के साथ compare कर रहे हैं जो इस विलेज में, ग्रीनविच विलेज में जब से इसकी शुरुआत हुई थी, इट हैड स्टार्टेड स्टॉकिंग अबाउट द कॉलोनी, टचिंग वन हेयर एंड देयर. Touching one here and there means, please underline this expression, touching one here and there. Touching one here and there means it started infecting people. So touching one here and there means it started infecting people. I have written infected people. You can write started infecting people. इसने लोगों को अपना शिकार बनाना शुरू कर दिया. किसने? द अनसीन स्ट्रेंजर. ऐसा स्ट्रेंजर जो दिखाई नहीं देता था, यानी कि वो बीमारी, जानलेवा बीमारी, न्यूमोनिया. Right? Pneumonia has been compared as an unseen stranger that had started infecting people here and there with his icy fingers, smiting his victims by scores. It was making it forcefully, it was attacking the victims. फोर्सफुली ये लोगों को अपना शिकार बना रहा था, जैसे कि आजकल कोरोना वायरस बिना चाहे लोगों को अपना शिकार बना रहा है. एंड पीपल हैव टू people are surviving on their own will, otherwise it has become very difficult to control the situation, right? So Johnsy he smote, and she lay scarcely moving on her iron bedsheet, looking through the small window panes at the blank side of the next brick house. This time it attacked Johnsy. Johnsy he smote means it attacked Johnsy. Pneumonia ने इस बार Johnsy को अपना शिकार बनाया. And she lay scarcely moving. Scarcely means, underline this word scarcely. Scarcely means hardly. And she remained on her iron bedstead. She remained on her bed, scarcely moving. She was so weak. She had become so weak from this disease that she could hardly move. And she kept looking through the small window panes at the blank side of the next brick house. वो खिड़की से बाहर झांकती थी और जो सामने एक दीवार थी, brick wall, उसे देखती रहती थी. She had lost all the hopes to be alive. She was thinking that now slowly and steadily she was moving towards her death. One morning the busy doctor invited Sue into the hallway. She has one chance in 10, he said, and that chance is for her to want to live. Your little friend has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. Has she anything on her mind? Please highlight these dialogues with the help of the highlighter, because these are the very important dialogues for the reference to context. So one day the doctor, when he came to check Johnsy, and after doing the thorough checkup of Johnsy, he called her friend Sue and he said that she has one chance in 10. It means she is one among 10 who can survive. 10 में से वो एक ऐसी पेशेंट है जिसके बचने के चांसेस हैं, but that chance is for her to want to live, but it depends on her willpower. ये सिर्फ तब पॉसिबल हो सकता है, वो सिर्फ तब सर्वाइव कर सकती है अगर वो सच में जीना चाहती है. Your little friend has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. The problem with your friend Johnsy is that she thinks that she will never get well soon. She has lost all the hopes. तुम्हारी फ्रेंड के साथ प्रॉब्लम ये है कि उसने जीने की उम्मीद छोड़ दी है. Is there anything in her mind? Has she anything on her mind? क्या उसके दिमाग में कोई चीज़ है जो वो करना चाहती है? Anything? Is there anything that can encourage her to get well soon and to be alive again? Is there anything that can make her happy? Is that anything that she wants to do? And Sue said She wanted to, this dialogue, you will highlight this dialogue also. She wanted to paint the Bay of Naples someday, said Sue. Sue said, yes, she wants to make a masterpiece. She wants to make the painting of the place Bay of Naples. And then see what the doctor said. You will highlight this entire dialogue with the help of highlighter. It's very very important and little bit complicated to comprehend. समझने में थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है, तो आप मुझे ध्यान से सुनिए. Paint Bosch, said the doctor. I will do all that science through my efforts can accomplish. But when my patient begins to count the carriages in her funeral procession, I subtract 50% from the curative power of medicines. Doctor said, paint Bosch. Please underline this word Bosch. You can see I have underlined it and I have written the meaning of Bosch. Bosch means nonsense. I don't think that your friend wants to paint because she doesn't talk about painting anything. All she is talking about her death. I will do all that science through my effort can accomplish. You will underline this sentence. It means I will try everything that I have learnt from science. मैंने आज तक जो भी सीखा है अपनी मेडिकल साइंसेस से, मैं वो हर एक चीज़ उसके ऊपर ट्राई करूँगा, इस पेशेंट पे ट्राई करूँगा, जॉन्सी को ठीक करने की कोशिश करूँगा. Whatever I have learnt, I will try. It means I will do that science through my efforts can accomplish, means whatever I have learnt, I will try that. But when my patient begins to count the carriages of her funeral procession means when anybody passes away, जब किसी की death हो जाती है, then the last rituals of burying that dead body or is known as the funeral of that person, right? So here it means, here the doctor is saying that Jhansi has started thinking about her funeral procession. So please underline this, to count the carriage in her funeral procession. Count the carriage in her funeral procession means she has started thinking of her death. उसने अपने डेथ के बारे में सोचना शुरू कर दिया है. आजकल वो बैठकर सारा दिन अपने बिस्तर पर बैठकर वो सिर्फ ये सोचती रहती है that how will be her funeral, how would it be when she will pass away, when she will die. I subtract 50% from the curative powers of medicine. I subtract means I remove 50% chances. 50% chances तो पेशेंट के ठीक होने के यहीं पर ख़त्म हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि पेशेंट ने उम्मीद छोड़ दी है. द patient is no more thinking of getting well and paints the masterpiece or to make the masterpiece. All whatever is there on the mind of Jhansi is her death. She has started thinking of her death. And even the medicines, it means I subtract 50% from the curative power of medicine, means even medicines can't help her. जिस तरह से उसने उम्मीद छोड़ दी है ठीक होने की, तो इस तरह से तो दवाइयाँ भी उस पर कोई असर करने वाली नहीं हैं. She has lost the entire hope of getting well soon, and she is not at all thinking about painting something. All she is thinking about her funeral, the last ritual of her death. She is thinking of her death and she has lost all the hope. After the doctor had gone, Sue went into the workroom and cried a napkin to a pulp. When the doctor went away, Sue went into her workroom, जहाँ पे वो पेंटिंग बनाती थी, वो उस कमरे में गई, and she started crying a napkin to a pulp. Crying a napkin to a pulp means she cried a lot. वो बहुत रोई. जब उसे पता चला कि उसकी फ्रेंड जॉन्सी ने जीने की सारी उम्मीदें छोड़ दी थी, एंड स्लोली शी वॉज बिकमिंग फ्रेल, शी वॉज बिकमिंग वीक, and she was thinking of dying very soon. Then she staggered into Johnson's room with her drawing board. Then she picked up her drawing board. She had to make a drawing of something. So she carried her drawing home and she entered. Staggered into means entered. She entered Johnson's room. और वो जॉन्सी के कमरे में चली गई जहाँ जॉन्सी बिस्तर पर लेटी हुई खिड़की के बाहर देख रही थी. And why she did it? Because she didn't want to leave Johnsy all alone thinking of her death. Johnsy lay, scarcely making a ripple under the bedclothes. Scarcely making a ripple means hardly moving. वो अपनी जगह से हिलती भी नहीं थी, एकदम still अपने बेड पे लेटी रहती थी, right? So scarcely making a ripple means hardly moving. With her face toward the window, and throughout the day she used to peek out of the window. खिड़की से बाहर झांकती रहती और कुछ सोचती रहती, as if she was thinking of her death, as if she was thinking of her last time. She arranged her board. Sue arranged her board and began a pen and ink drawing to illustrate a magazine story. Illustrate means show. So Sue was making a drawing with pen and ink because she had to submit it to a magazine story. For the magazine story, she had to make a drawing. So she started making it, and as she was sketching, she heard a low sound several times repeated. She heard that Johnsy was creating some slow sounds as if she was in great pain. She went quickly to the bedside. So she went to Johnsy. वो Johnsy के पास गई, bedside पे उसके पास जाकर बैठ गई, and she heard that Johnsy was counting something. Johnsy's eyes were open wide. She was looking out of the window. Johnsy खिड़की से बाहर देख रही थी, and she was counting backward. Sue noticed that Johnsy was doing the reverse counting. वो उल्टी गिनती गिन रही थी. 12, 11, 10, 9, and then 8 and 7, almost together. And Sue couldn't understand why her friend was counting backward. Why her friend was doing the reverse counting. उसकी फ्रेंड ये उल्टी गिनती क्यों गिन रही है? ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ बाहर है जिसको देखकर she has started counting 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Sue looked out of the window. You can see here we have a picture where we can see the old and sick Johnsy is lying on her bed, and she is looking out and she is counting reverse. There is no hope to be alive, and she has lost all the hope to get well soon. She is thinking of her death all day long. Sue looked out of the window. So Johnson's friend Sue tried to look out कि बाहर ऐसी क्या चीज़ है जिसको देखकर मेरी friend उल्टी गिनती गिन रही है. What was there to count? There was only a bare, dreary yard and the blank side of the brick house 20 feet away. So Sue saw that there was nothing outside. There was nothing so special जिसको देखकर Johnsy count कर सके. There was only a bare, dreary yard. Bare, dreary yard. Please underline this word. Bare, dreary yard means unattractive area where there were no plants, no flowers, nothing beautiful, nothing attractive to be seen. So bare, dreary yard means unattractive, dry area, right? And the blank side of the brick house, और एक घर का back side की उसकी दीवार दिखाई दे रही थी. The back wall of a house 20 feet away. An old ivy vine climbed halfway up the brick wall. What is old ivy vine? It is a climbing plant with dark green leaves. Please underline old ivy vine. Old ivy vine means a climbing plant with dark green leaves. मतलब कि एक बेल, उसने देखा कि उस दीवार पे, जो खिड़की के सामने दीवार दिखाई देती थी एक घर की, उस दीवार पर एक बेल लटकी हुई है, पत्तों वाली बेल, आपने देखी होगी, राइट? सो एक बेल लटकी हुई है एंड its skeleton branches clung almost bare to the crumbling bricks. It means that it had skeleton branches means almost all the leaves have fallen off. Fallen off, and now there was a bare branch without any leaves. Clung almost bare to the crumbling wall. Clung almost bare to the crumbling wall means holding the wall without any leaves. It was losing its leaves. इसके पत्ते झड़ रहे थे. The leaves were shedding and it was holding the wall. Crumbling bricks means वो जो टूटी फूटी सी एक दीवार थी सामने, उससे एक ऐसी उस पर से एक ऐसी बेल लटक रही थी जिसके पत्ते धीरे धीरे गिर रहे थे, झड़ रहे थे. एंड जॉन्सी वॉज काउंटिंग द लीव्स ऑफ दैट आइवी वाइन. What is it, dear? asked Sue. Sue tried to ask her, what are you looking at? 6, said Johnsy in almost a whisper. They are falling faster now. You will highlight this dialogue for reference to context. 6, said Johnsy in almost a whisper. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago they were almost 100. It made my head ache to count them, but now it's easy. There goes another one. There are only 5 left now. Johnsy told a very strange thing to Sue. She said, you know, this old vine before us that is holding on to that wall, 3 days ago it had hundreds of leaves. जब मैंने काउंट किया था 3 दिन पहले, इतने लीव्स थे, इतने पत्ते थे इस बेल में कि उनको गिनते गिनते मेरे सर में दर्द हो गई थी. दे वर ऑलमोस्ट 100, बट नाउ दे आर फॉलिंग फास्टर. लेकिन 3 दिनों में जो ठंड पड़ी है उसके बाद ये पत्ते इतनी तेज़ी से झड़ रहे हैं. दे आर शेडिंग सो फास्ट दैट नाउ दे हैव रिमेन्ड ओनली 5. देखते ही देखते सिर्फ 5 पत्ते मेरे सामने रह गए हैं, बाकी सारे के सारे पत्ते झड़ गए हैं. 5 what, dear? So Sue was not able to understand why her friend was talking about the leaves of the ivy vine. So she said, 5 what, dear? Leaves on the ivy vine. This is very important dialogue. You will highlight it. Leaves on the ivy vine. When the last one falls, I must go too. I have known that 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you? And he said something very very disheartening. उसने ऐसी दिल तोड़ने वाली बात बोली अपनी फ्रेंड को कि उसकी बात सुनकर उसकी फ्रेंड हैरान हो गई. उसने कहा, आई एम काउंटिंग द लीव्स ऑन द आइवी वाइन. व्हेन द लास्ट वन फॉल्स, जब इसका आखिरी पत्ता झड़ेगा, I must go too means I will also die. Please write down the meaning of this expression. I must go too means I will die. जब इस बेल का आखिरी पत्ता, अब सिर्फ 5 leaves are left, सिर्फ 5 पत्ते बचे हैं, और जब इसका आखिरी पत्ता झड़ जाएगा उस दिन मैं भी इस दुनिया को छोड़ के चली जाऊंगी. I have known that for 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you? डॉक्टर ने भी तो तुम्हें ये बात बताई होगी that I am not getting well, कि मैं ठीक नहीं हो रही हूँ. That my death is near, my end is near. I can imagine my death is coming, approaching. मेरी मौत धीरे धीरे मेरी तरफ बढ़ रही है. And I am just going to leave this world. Oh, I never heard of such nonsense, said Sue with a magnificent scorn. Magnificent scorn means anger. गुस्से में सू ने अपनी फ्रेंड को डांटा. उसने जब ऐसी निराशा भरी बातें अपने फ्रेंड के मुंह से सुनी तो उसे गुस्सा आ गया एंड शी सेड, ओह, आई नेवर हर्ड ऑफ सच नॉनसेंस. व्हाट नॉनसेंस यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट? What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? तुम्हारे ठीक होने से इस बेल के पत्तों का क्या लेना देना? They are falling because of the nature. Every autumn the leaves shed off the trees, and in spring season they will bloom again. It has nothing to do with your life. It has nothing to do with your getting well soon. Don't be goosey. Goosey means silly. Underline this word goosey. Goosey means silly. Don't be silly. Why, the doctor told me this morning that your chances for getting well real soon were 10 to 5. She said, I talked to the doctor and the doctor said there are good chances. You are one among the 10. तुम 10 पेशेंट्स में से एक ऐसी पेशेंट हो जो जी सकती है, जिसके ठीक होने की उम्मीद है. You have lost your hope to get well soon, but the doctor has not lost the hope. You can survive easily. You will highlight this entire dialogue. These dialogues are very, very important for the reference to context. Now the next lines spoken by Johnsy. See what she says. There goes another. जॉन्सी अपनी फ्रेंड की बातों की तरफ ध्यान नहीं दे रही है. उसका ध्यान खिड़की के बाहर उन पत्तों को गिनने में है. शी इज़ जस्ट काउंटिंग द लीव्स, फॉलिंग लीव्स ऑफ द आइवी वाइन. एंड देयर गोज अनदर. शी सॉ वन मोर लीफ falling out and she said, one more leaf has fallen. Keeping her eyes fixed upon the walls. That leaves just four. Now there are only 4 leaves. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. अंधेरे होने से पहले पहले मैं उस लास्ट पत्ते को गिरते हुए देखना चाहती हूँ. I want to see that last leaf. When it will fall, then I will go too. I will go too means I will also leave this world. I will die. मैं भी मर जाऊंगी जैसे ही वो आखिरी पत्ता इस पेड़ से नीचे गिरेगा. Johnsy dear, highlight this dialogue spoken by Sue. Johnsy dear, said Sue, bending over her, will you promise me to keep your eyes closed and not just look out of the window until I am done working? I must hand those drawings in by tomorrow. I need the light or I would draw the shade down. So Sue said, my dear Johnsy, please stop talking all this rubbish. ऐसी बुरी बातें मत करो. Right? Promise me, मुझसे promise करो that you will close your eyes and you will take rest. I just have to finish making this drawing because I have to submit it by tomorrow. मुझे कल तक ये drawing submit करनी है. So I will complete it, but you will have to promise me. तुमको ये promise करना पड़ेगा कि तुम अब खिड़की के बाहर इन पत्तों को देखना बंद करोगी और थोड़ी देर के लिए आराम करूँगी. I need the light, so I'm going to another room and I would draw the shade down. Couldn't you draw in the other room? Asked Johnsy coldly. I would rather be here by you, said Sue. Besides, I don't want you to keep looking at those silly ivy leaves. Johnsy wanted to be alone. Johnsy चाहती थी कि उसकी फ्रेंड सू दूसरे कमरे में चले जाए और वो उसे वहाँ अकेला छोड़ दे ताकि अकेले बैठे बैठे वो उन पत्तों को गिरते हुए देखे. But Sue didn't want to leave her friend alone because she knew that Johnsy had become completely hopeless and she had started imagining her death. So her friend said, I would rather be here. I won't leave you alone. I don't want you to keep looking at those silly ivy leaves. Tell me as soon as you have finished, said Johnsy, closing her eyes, lying white and still, because I want to see the last one fall. This is very important dialogue. You will highlight it. because I want to see the last one fall. I am tired of waiting. I want to turn loose my hold on everything and go sailing down, just like one of those poor tired leaves. So she said, you know what, Sue, I am tired. मैं थक गई हूँ इन पत्तों को गिनते गिनते, इंतज़ार करते करते कि कब आखिरी पत्ता गिरेगा. मैं थक चुकी हूँ. I am tired. I want to turn loose my hold on everything. Want to turn loose my hold on everything means I want to leave everything. अब मैं हर चीज़ को छोड़ देना चाहती हूँ. ठीक है. I want to leave everything and go sailing. Go sailing means I want to die. मैं मरना चाहती हूँ अब. मैं थक गई हूँ. Now I want to leave this world. I want to leave everything. I want to die. Just like one of those poor tired leaves. इन पत्तों की तरह मैं भी अब इस दुनिया को छोड़ के जाना चाहती हूँ. I want to leave everything. Try to sleep, said Sue. I must call Behrman up to be my model for the old hermit miner. Underline this dialogue. Sorry, highlight it with highlighter. So she said, I must call Behrman. Now Behrman was that 60-year-old man who was their neighbor. So उसका ध्यान हटाने के लिए सू ने कहा कि ऐसी बातें मत करो, तुम सो जाओ. I must call Behrman. I am calling Behrman to be my model. You know what is the model? Last year we had read that chapter, Model Millionaire, जिसमें एक भिखारी, एक बूढ़ा भिखारी आदमी पेंटर के सामने खड़ा होता है. He becomes the model and the painter paints his portrait, right? So model होता है जो पेंटर के सामने, आर्टिस्ट के सामने खड़ा होगा या बैठा होगा और उसे देख के आर्टिस्ट अपनी पेंटिंग बनाएगा. तो इस पेंटिंग को बनाने के लिए, इस ड्राइंग को बनाने के लिए सू को एक मॉडल की ज़रूरत थी. सो शी थॉट दैट बेहरमैन वुड बिकम हर मॉडल फॉर द ओल्ड हर्मिट माइनर. शी हैड टू मेक द ड्राइंग ऑफ एन ओल्ड हर्मिट माइनर. हर्मिट होता है लोनली, माइनर मीन्स लेबरर, एक बूढ़ा आदमी जो एक लेबर का काम करता है, उसे उसकी ड्राइंग बनानी थी. फॉर दिस शी नीडेड अ मॉडल. सो शी चोज बेहरमैन बिकॉज बेहरमैन वॉज एन ओल्ड मैन. सो शी chose Behrman as her model for old hermit. Hermit means lonely. Underline this. Hermit means lonely. Miner means laborer who works as a laborer. I will not be gone a minute. Don't try to move till I come back. तो अब सू किसे बुलाने के लिए वहाँ से निकली? She went to call Behrman. और उसने क्या बहाना लगाया कि मैं बेहरमैन को इसलिए बुलाना चाहती हूँ बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट टू पेंट द पोर्ट्रेट ऑफ एन ओल्ड हर्मिट माइनर एंड फॉर दैट आई नीड बेहरमैन एज अ मॉडल. बट शी डिडंट want to call him because she wanted him as a model. Rather, she wanted to call him because she was very, very tensed on hearing the sad and depressing words of जॉन्सी. जॉन्सी की बातों को सुनकर सू इतना घबरा गई थी कि उसने डिसाइड किया कि अब मुझे बेहरमैन को बुलाना चाहिए और मैं बेहरमैन को बताऊंगी कि कैसे जॉन्सी अपने मरने की बातें कर रही है. लेट्स सी हु वाज बेहरमैन. ओल्ड बेहरमैन वाज अ पेंटर who lived on the floor beneath them. He used to live in the floor beneath their floor, right? He was past 60 and a failure in art. He was an artist, but he was an unsuccessful artist. He had been always up to paint a masterpiece. It was his desire to paint a masterpiece. उसका एक ख्वाब था कि मैं अपनी लाइफ में मरने से पहले एक मास्टरपीस बनाऊंगा. मास्टरपीस मीन्स समथिंग एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी, वेरी ब्यूटिफुल पेंटिंग जो सबसे अलग है, जो बहुत सक्सेसफुल होगी, पॉपुलर होगी. So he had never ever made anything so popular or anything so beautiful or anything extraordinary. He was a failure in art. He was an unsuccessful artist, but he wanted to paint a masterpiece but had never yet begun it. He earned a little by serving as a model to the young artist in the कॉलोनी, उस कॉलोनी में जहाँ पर सू और जॉन-सी रहते थे, जहाँ बहरमैन रहता था, इट वाज द कॉलोनी ऑफ आर्टिस्ट। वहाँ पे और भी आर्टिस्ट रहते थे। तो इस तरह से बहरमैन यूज्ड टू अर्न हिज लिविंग, दिस इज़ हाउ ही यूज्ड टू अर्न हिज लाइवलीहुड बाय सर्विंग एज अ मॉडल। तो वो उन लोगों के लिए एक मॉडल का काम करता था और बदले में उसे थोड़ा बहुत जो पैसा मिलता था उससे वो अपना गुजारा करता था। He was a fierce little old man. Fierce means angry. Usually he had an angry temperament, gussebaz, right? So underline this word fierce. Fierce means angry. He was a fierce little old man. He regarded it his special duty to protect the two young artists in the studio above. It means she used to treat John-C and Sue as his daughters because he was 60 years old man. वो एक बूढ़ा आदमी था, तो वो उन दोनों लड़कियों को, जॉन-सी और सू को, अपनी बेटी की तरह ट्रीट करता था। और वो ये समझता था कि जब तक हम इस कॉलोनी में एक साथ रहते हैं तब तक ये मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि मैं इन लड़कियों की देखभाल करूं। सो ही यूजुअली यूज्ड टू ट्रीट दीज गर्ल्स विद लॉट ऑफ लव एंड अफेक्शन एंड ही यूज्ड टू केयर फॉर देम. So today we will read till here only, and in my next video I will share the reading of the part that I have left unread. Right, till then your task is to read it. Read it thoroughly, and while you are reading it, play this video and do listen to me wherever I am instructing you to note down the meanings of the underlined words and the highlighted dialogues.